Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good
Hello,
What's
evening, good
up?
to
hello.
all. All right, looks like we got everybody here, so this is super, super exciting. So, guys, welcome back to Morphin Meet, and it's going to be one of the most exciting panels that we're going to have this weekend. So let's go back. It's 1998, and the Power Rangers had swept the United States and even all over the world for about 5 years already. So how else are they going to start this new season? Let's go ahead and launch these teenagers out into space. And so let's go ahead and introduce us, our panel here. 22 years later, the Power Rangers in Space has been recognized as the season that essentially saved the franchise. They've been
Woot
immortalized by
woot.
toys, video games, comic books, and now, thanks to Renegade's Heroes of the Grid, we have a new expansion, Rise of the Psycho Rangers. The Kickstarter for that game has already been going out, and pre-orders are now available on the Renegade website. So if you're interested, feel free to check that out after the panel. So let's go ahead and introduce our actors today. Let's go ahead and start here with Tracy. If you guys want to
Hello.
tell us a little
How's
bit about yourselves, and then just let us know where
uh
we can find you on social media and everything too.
okay. Hello everybody. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Tracy Lynn Cruz, also known as Ashley Hammond from Power Rangers Turbo and Power Rangers in Space. I can be found on all the platforms of social media, TLC Yellow Ranger. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. As far as
There
as far as introductions go.
Yep. Awesome. All right, next up in line, looks like we got Patrick right here.
What's up?
Woo
Oh,
woo.
hey, Patrick David, also known as Psycho Red. You can find me on the Psycho Red at Instagram. It's the only one I have. I'm very happy to be here and excited about this game.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Patrick. And it looks like we have Wally right next in line.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Looks like we kind of lost you there for a quick sec, Wally.
Speak
So
up, Blue.
let's
Your
give
mic
you a chance.
your
Oh,
mic is out.
uh-oh. Looks like we're out a little bit. So why don't we go ahead and see if we can get that fixed? But until then, let's go ahead and see our friend Selwyn here.
Hello everybody, Selwyn Ward here, first black leader of the Power Rangers. I
Woot
played
woot.
TJ. I played TJ, I played TJ. So I was red in Turbo and blue in Space, one of the best seasons ever. And I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. And let's go right
Can you hear me
now to
now?
Chris. Oh, yes,
Yes.
Wally, we got you.
Oh, good. I think when I moved the little bar up here, I must have hit the mic and muted myself. Sorry about that. So sorry. I'm a big fan of silent movies, but not in this day and age. I don't have to have subtitle cards, you know. Anyway, sorry about that.
So, Wally, tell us about yourself, and do you have any other places where we could find you on social media?
Yes, Wally Wingert here. Hi, in case you didn't hear me before. Voice of the Blue Psycho Ranger. Here he is right here. Also voice of characters on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and feature films and all kinds of stuff. So the announcer of The Tonight Show for 4 years, the last 4 years of Jay Leno's tenure. WallyOnTheWeb.com is my website. At Wally Wingert, Twitter. Wally.Wingert on Instagram. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah,
Awesome.
all good.
And last but not least, we have Chris.
How you doing? My name is Christopher Khayman, but I usually go by Big Sexy. What's up? That's how it is.
Very humble, we see.
Yes,
Love the
That's what's up.
humility.
Yeah.
Christian.
We're gonna get
Yeah, you
popping
can
off
find me
like
on
that.
Instagram. You can find me on Instagram, Christopher Khayman Lee, and also on Twitch at Chris Khayman Lee. I don't know. I was a red guy once upon a time. It was a series that we did. We were basically copying Star Wars. I don't know. There's something like that. I don't know.
The red guy.
Awesome, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for taking some time to come out today. Hope your commute wasn't too bad going to wherever your designated rooms are at. So let's go ahead and start the questions. We have several questions coming in from fans. We developed some questions ourselves, some from me because I am one of your biggest fans. Space, I will say, is my favorite
Yay!
season. So, all
And
right,
why was
let's
that?
go
I'm
ahead
going to
and
put you on the spot, and I'm going to ask you, why was Space your favorite
I
season? What made
will
it?
admit, they launched you guys into
Because
space.
of
It was
me.
so different. It took you out of your, well, yeah, of course, everybody, right? No, honestly, it was one of those, because you started the Power Rangers, when you're young, and so as you grow with the series, like you'll definitely start growing and you kind of get more mature, so you got those like really intricate stories. So it was super fun to follow, and I loved it. But let's make this about you guys. We're you know the show has been running for 5 years by the time your season came on. Well, you also had Turbo right before that, but were any of you guys fans of Power Rangers, like by the time you auditioned and when you're like, hey, let's go ahead and see if I can audition for the show? Let's start with the Rangers. If anyone.
All right. Well, why don't we have
Nobody?
Selwyn? You want to take it first?
I was gonna say Tracy
Yeah.
definitely was one.
You know what?
Pass the mark.
So actually,
Pass the mark.
I wasn't. I am an only child, and I have no brothers or sisters. That's what typically an only child means, right? So I wasn't very familiar with, you know, cartoons or, especially Power Rangers. I've heard of it, but I wasn't necessarily in that world. I didn't know much about it. So thank you, Selwyn.
Well, I
But
meant
yeah,
you
I
kind
guess.
of had a relationship with one of the actors. That's what I was referring to.
Oh, really? We're gonna go there, huh? Okay.
We're going to start off quick. All
We're
right.
gonna get popping like that. All right, Sal.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anyhow,
Well,
This is
going
going to be a
to
fun panel.
Selwyn, Mr. Big Talker.
Oh, well, no,
what about you,
I was a
someone?
fan. Yeah,
You were
I
a
was
fan?
definitely I was a fan. I didn't, I can't say I followed it, but when it was on, I would watch it. And I just thought it was quite interesting, the whole idea, and I really liked the fighting scenes a lot. But I would
Mhm.
have to say I was kind of at that time probably past the age of playing with action figures and whatnot. But I liked the idea of the show.
Very
But you do
cool.
play with them
Very
now,
cool.
right?
No, not
Your
do I play
action
with what?
figure.
He plays with himself.
Oh, action
His own.
figures. Yes,
You you
yes,
you
Wow.
you,
yes,
you currently play with your action figure now, right?
This is going to
yes,
be a good one.
yes. I do.
Very good. All right. Anybody else? Were any of you guys fans, or are you guys
Yeah.
fans now? Obviously, that since the show has, um, your season has been done, and several years later, we still have more and more seasons. You guys are making appearances too in future seasons. How is that? Someone, I know you've made a couple of appearances in future seasons, right? You made an appearance in Ninja Steel and everything. How was that?
Right. Oh, okay. So you're talking about crossovers. Oh no, it's good. It's
Yeah,
always nice to get back and get called back into action. Every time it's like a reunion, like a family reunion, so to speak. To have that kind of relationship with other people that have played the roles throughout the years. But
mhm.
yeah, I consider myself at this point a legendary ranger.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is. It really
Which
is.
is
That's so cool.
understandably why he's a little taken aback on the question, because he's still playing with his legendary action figure.
Wow.
How's
Wow.
that
Oh,
going
So,
for
this is
you,
going to be
Sal?
good.
You good?
I see. I see.
I'm
anybody
gonna
else?
jump in here. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
jump in.
yeah.
I knew of the show. I've had friends that
Okay.
were well, when the show first started, there was like a tour of like going to different cities. Like they had like dancers and acrobats and people playing the Rangers. I had some friends that were in those shows, and I never really watched the show. And so when I auditioned for the show, I somehow knew who Tracy was and Chris was because of their looks and just because of the whole In Space team is iconic. So when I got called in for that, finally, I was very excited, and I booked it. And I'm more of a fan of it now than I was back then. I never really watched it after, but now they're bringing our season back with Hasbro with the toys and with the comic books, and so I'm blessed to be part of this franchise.
That's awesome. Yeah, right. Psychopath is very, very popular for Boom Comics as well. What about you, Wally? How was your experience, going into this opportunity of joining the Power Rangers franchise of being a voice actor for such an iconic character?
Well, it's interesting because I was working at a radio station called The Wave, which was one floor below Metromedia Square, which was one floor below Fox Kids. So I was always seeing all the stuff going on with the Batman animated series and Power Rangers and everything. So I was aware of it when I was in radio. Then I moved into voiceover, and then I worked at Universal Studios for 4 years as Beetlejuice in the Beetlejuice Graveyard Review, and one of the Wolfmen was Walter Jones. So he was just
Oh,
on his way
wow.
out as I was on my way in, and I remember not being able to get to work one day because the traffic on the 101 freeway was backed up down to Anaheim because everybody was trying to go
Wow.
see the Power Rangers at the Universal Amphitheater. So like, wow, something's going on here.
I remember
So when the
that.
audition came up to just be the voice of this Psycho Ranger, I'm like, okay, this sounds kind of cool. But I didn't get to have all the fun you guys all had with in the costumes and everything, because we just went in one at a time, watched some video, and Scott Page Factor told us, basically what the scene was, and we did some character voices and kind of looped to, whatever. So it was quite a different experience than what the costumed people had. Yeah. Other than that, we were on only I think a handful of episodes, and when you go to do a voiceover session, they get it for 2 to 4 hours. So you really, can walk out after 4 hours and have done pretty much everything for the entire arc of your character. So then you really never get any calls again until it airs, and maybe they show up again, or maybe there's some pickups that they have to do, and you do have to go in. So it was very short but very sweet, and it's great that these characters are still living again after all these years.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. Kind of just talking about the whole voice acting. How was that for everybody? I mean, we all knew that a lot of footage came in from the Japan series. So how was it like voicing? It wasn't an animated character, but it was like some other actor that was portraying who you essentially are. Was that experience strange, or um, start off with Wally, or whoever wants to chime in?
Well, I
Wasn't
think
strange for
that
me. I just found out.
Whoop.
Oh, go ahead,
Everybody
Tracy.
starts at once.
Yep,
Right.
sorry. Let's go. Let's start with you, Patrick.
Yeah, I didn't even know we were like copying the other one until like last year. The fan like forwarded me the link on Instagram. I'm like, wait a minute, that's like back to back, the exact same thing that we just did. I had no idea, so I'm glad I didn't know. I had my own twist on. I didn't watch anything beforehand, so no, I had no idea.
Okay.
Patrick is so beautifully naive. God.
Shut up.
Yeah. Well,
Kill
let's
you.
kind of just keep talking about our Psycho Rangers here, right? So, did you guys realize that you're going to be such prominent villains? Like,
I did the
or
job,
was this?
had
Yeah.
fun with it. That was it.
I
No
during
thought the
idea.
that
costumes were
time,
cool.
2 years ago, I just
during
found out
during
how much the fans loved it. So go ahead.
2 years ago, you
Yeah,
just found
Tracy.
out what, Patrick?
How much
Uh,
people love the Psycho Rangers? I had no idea. I just did the
oh,
job and said, "Oh yeah, I was on a show before. I did this thing." I had no idea.
crazy. No, what I was going
Yeah.
to say is that when the Psycho Rangers initially were introduced to us, we all together were hovered in our little corner as Rangers, and kind of side eyeing these guys and trying to figure out WTF, what's going on? What are we not being told? It was like, is Patrick out to take Chris's job? Is the Psycho Yellow out to, like, that was a very stressful time working with these psychos because we really didn't know what the underline of all of that was. All of a sudden you have, these other characters. What's going on? And I felt like my character, the Yellow Psycho Ranger, I thought she looked very similar to me.
She
And
did.
so it
Yeah.
was really hard to relax, hard to be cordial, because it was just like, Do you guys know something that we don't? You know, so it was really, so as everybody, all like, oh, that's our favorite, you know, the psycho's coming in. And I could just, for me, myself, that was probably I felt so much anxiety coming to work and
Sorry.
thinking, oh my gosh, is this it? Yeah, it's all your fault. You know,
I'm sorry.
I just was so surprised. I don't know if you, Selwyn or Chris, had that same kind of feeling, but I do remember us going like, what's going on? Have you guys heard anything? I didn't hear anything. Do you guys know? It was just really stressful.
Did you feel that way, Chris? I don't really remember, but did you feel that way, Chris?
I was pissed off that they had much better outfits than we did. That's where I was with that.
Costumes were cool.
No
We
spandex.
had like the best. We had the best Power Ranger outfits, like the suits and all. We had the coolest ones. But then I saw theirs, and I was like, God damn it, they got even better ones. What is this, man? Come on.
And to this
Yeah.
day, I think we still do.
And you know what,
It is.
Patrick, I should let you know, you guys looked
What?
great even without the Manx being introduced at that time, or Spanx, or whatever you want to call them. You guys held it
Yeah.
down. You guys looked really good.
I got to hand it to the designers. They did a really good job. I wish I knew who they were.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
All
anyhow,
right,
that's my little
so
spiel on the Psycho Rangers. I don't know. Maybe that was just me seeing somebody that looked like me, you know, just kind of like, okay, I'm shaking here. What's going on?
yeah.
It's like they started with you to look like you, but then I don't look like Chris, and Peter did black.
Right.
Like, no, I don't. So I think they started with that. They kind of said, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
That's true, but Michael and Roger, they're basically like identical. They're practically identical. Despite the fact
the
that
hair.
Michael was much paler and about 4 feet taller.
Oh, that's right, the hair. Yeah, but
So speaking of, you know, trying all your new costumes out and then going to those Spanx and everything, how was all that training like going into the Power Rangers and even as a Psycho Ranger? Selwyn, Chris, did you guys want to start talking about like training prior? I think we heard about Tracy mentioning at actually last night's panel that like you guys went through your own kind of Power Rangers boot camp.
We did. We absolutely. It was called Hell. It was called Hell Week. You know, and it really was brutal. But not just that. I mean, it was very kind of. I guess there was a sense of humility that we all kind of sensed, because the people that were training us were these, you know, 40 something, some of them even chain smoking, you know, Japanese guys that were just like, they made us look like we were wimps. And it was just crazy. They
Speak for
really
yourself.
did like crack the whip. Would you say, Sal? Are we doing this again?
Speak for yourself. Nice to speak for yourself.
How was it for you, Selwyn?
Well, I definitely
How was it
tussled
for
with
you,
him a bit,
Selwyn?
and I think Chris did too. Well, I was gonna say I think me and Chris both kind of tussled with him. You know, Chris, I think has had some martial arts training. I had some martial arts training coming in, so I think I think for everybody it was different. I enjoyed it. I didn't like getting up early, and having to be there at the crack of dawn to stretch and train, but I did enjoy the training aspect actually, and that was something
Oh yeah.
that I took a bit more serious at the time. That I trained outside of Power Rangers boot camp and whatnot. So that was something I took full advantage of.
I bruised my knee on a mic stand during the session once. Does that count?
I was just gonna ask,
You got me beat, Wally.
Okay.
I worked out with a stuntman. I did study a little bit of martial arts before I was on the show. But not really that much. I just had a little bit of training before that, maybe a year or two. But I worked out with a stuntman while I was on the show. Like basically every week, I worked out with him, and we had the greatest stunt team on the planet, Alpha Stunts. I'm not saying that like because I love them so much or whatever. We were all really close and all that. No, they were literally the greatest stunt team on the planet. Jackie Chan's guys wanted to be part of Alpha Stunts. They wanted to be part of that team. Yeah, they were that good. Our team was so good that other teams like looked up to them like they were gods. And when I would work out with them, the greatest honor that they ever showed me was that they would beat the hell out of me constantly. They beat me so badly that like sometimes I could not get up. I was just like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna take a minute in this. Y'all just keep doing what you're doing. I'm good. I'm gonna sit here and let my bones try to knit. Because I'm good. Yeah, but they would beat me. They would beat me senseless. And then, afterwards they'd be like, okay, now you want to go get something to eat? Let's go hang out and sing and all this stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna hang out in the corner over here and bleed for a while. Y'all do, you do you.
I don't remember
yeah,
training with you, Chris, at all. I remember, Selwyn and Roger, myself, and of course Patty. But before Patty, we had somebody else, another Pink Ranger that was cast. I had mentioned in one of the panels, and I remember us all training together, but I don't remember Chris ever training with you when you came in as in space. I don't remember that.
Actually, no, it was just me. And then I was working out with Takahiro, Tadahiro, Takahatsu, and Kazu. And all four of them were beating the crap out of me constantly. It was relentless. But yeah, we did that at what was it, Valley College? I think that was the name of it.
I was gonna say
name
you
of the
used to
place.
go to the gymnastic place with them, right?
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah,
yeah.
we
I
never
went
did
there
that.
with
We did
them.
it on set.
I did that with them like 2 days a week. I think we did it like Tuesdays and Thursdays or something like that. And after work, after like, I think we would start at like 9 p.m. or something like that. We'd go for about an hour or something like that. But yeah, they were brutal. Um, and as much as I love Takahiro, who was like, aside from Hiroshi was the main guy that was Red Ranger, always Red Ranger. And then after him was Takahiro. Takahiro was about my age. We were both roughly the same age. And I wanted to punch the ever-loving hell out of him. I could not stand him because he would beat the crap out of me in every workout session. He would just beat me senseless. So, yeah. But I loved him. I loved him for it. So, yeah.
I was gonna say you did give him authorization. You did tell him to go for it.
I told him, yeah. I said, yeah, go for it, man. Do it. And yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my body hated me for it. My body
Yeah,
hated me.
they knew. Our stunt guys knew no gender, anything like that. No gender, no age, nothing like that. Didn't matter. You were gonna learn, and yeah, they
Do it
held nothing
right,
back.
yeah. Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Anybody else had anything else they wanted to add? Because I think our producer Chris is sending us some questions from our fans here. So it looks like Amanda asked, "Were you able to keep any props from your season?" So let's start
No.
with anyone else. No, no. So Patrick got to know.
Just
Anybody else? Anyone else was able to keep anything? Tracy?
I bought a jacket
yeah,
off the set.
you bought it?
The jacket
Charged you?
the episode that Chris and Ashley went out on a date, and it was like a black leather jacket, and the inside lining was very red. It was like red velvet or something like that. I can't remember, but I bought that because Danielle was like, "Well, we can't really give anything away, but if you buy it, then it'll be fine." So I was like, "What do you want? What do you want me to pay for it?" And she's like, "I don't know, $10." And I was like, "Yeah, hell, what the hell? Yeah, I'll do it." It was a leather jacket.
So
It
you
was
mean
nice.
from
I was like, "What the
wardrobe?
hell, man?" Huh?
You mean
Wardrobe charged you.
the wardrobe
Yeah,
jacket,
from
whatever
wardrobe.
you
Yeah.
wore? Okay,
Oh, okay.
okay,
Yeah.
because we
There's a
had
big
our
profiles in
jacket.
history auction coming up with a bunch of stuff going up for sale, costumes and props and stuff. Do you know about that?
The what?
I've
Yeah,
seen at certain
Allison was one of
conventions.
the. Yeah. There's a big auction coming up with all this Power Ranger stuff. I just got sent the catalog the other day. Allison
Yeah,
McInnes is one of the, and she works in
Oh,
profiles in history, and they have a lot of Power Ranger stuff that's going up for auction. So if anybody's got some deep pockets and wants some props, it's all going up.
wow.
Yeah, her husband.
I thought they burned them all.
Sure.
yeah,
Wow.
the jackets that we got, Selwyn and I guess I don't know if it was from Turbo or in Space, I can't remember, but we got these really nice jackets. We each had our name on it with the our character name and then Power Rangers in the back. It's like a hoodie jacket, but I don't know if you guys still have
That's
that.
really
But
cool.
I was able to, as you guys can see, I have my actor's chair here still.
What?
So that was courtesy of the
Oh
the
yeah,
show.
I stole
And
mine too.
Awesome.
and then
That's right.
I was
the
gonna say.
original Morpher,
Go ahead.
I was able to
Oh,
somehow end up with the original Morpher from
That's original.
the
Wow.
it is the original. Yeah, it's, I mean, you could see the authenticity in it. So Twee actually wore this and then was
Oh,
passed down
wow.
to Karen Ashley, and then from Karen Ashley was passed down to Nakia, and then from Nakia passed down to moi. And so I was able to keep it because since we were the last of the Zordon era, we weren't going to be using these
Yeah.
anymore. So
Huh.
somehow, some way, yeah. So I got to keep that.
Wow.
That's
When
I
I
really
was gonna
cool.
mention.
That's awesome.
I was going to mention it was quite difficult actually to take things from set. They had people
Yeah,
that their whole job was to keep an eye on, the
yeah,
original props and
morphers.
whatnot. And
Yeah,
and I think during the show, especially in the beginning, I wasn't as clued in on that this stuff would be worth anything or that anybody would really want it. My mind wasn't on it, but that's why I think some of the previous actors really took advantage of that and did take a lot of things off the set, and that's why
Chris
we
is
had
laughing.
yeah.
monitors that were, as soon as they call cut on the scene, they're on us. They're grabbing belts, they're grabbing guns, they're grabbing
yep.
everything. So we really
Wow.
didn't even have the chance to
And
think about it.
if you
So
didn't give it to them, they would come and hunt you down.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
I
so
remember when I first got on. I mean, Selwyn is 100% correct. Yeah, when I first got on, Danielle and I can't remember who else it was, but
Banner.
yeah, they came over to me. Well, yeah. I think it was Danielle and Banner. They both came over to me at one point and they said, "So look, whenever we break from set and all that, we have a list. We're going to go down and we're going to make sure that we have all this stuff. Nobody's allowed to walk off the set with any of the stuff." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And they said, "And the reason why is because of Jason Frank." And I said, "I don't know what that means.
Oh,
What does that mean?" And they said, "He stole everything off the show." They said that if it wasn't actually nailed down, he was walking out with it. And I was like, "Oh, more power to him. All right, good on you then."
maybe
Yeah,
he
he
knew
had a
something we
lot of
didn't.
stuff. Yeah, yeah, he had a lot of stuff from the show.
Yeah. So anybody else was got anything or last minute remarks?
Selwyn, did you get anything
Cool.
from the show?
well, I was
What
gonna
did you
say
say?
most of the things we did get were gifts normally from the show. Like I did get a jacket from Turbo. That was a gift. And then a morpher, just like Tracy said, I think that was given at the end of one of our seasons too. So most of the things I have were gifts. We got a scrapbook that was nice, and then
Yeah.
I didn't get my full chair, but I did get the nameplate on the back.
Oh, the
That's
thing. Yeah.
awesome.
Just the top.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. It looks like we got another question from one of our fans. Eric T says, this is very convenient for our meet here. Eric, this is a question for everybody. What is your favorite board game, or do you have a least favorite board game? So it doesn't have to be with Renegade, but do you guys play
What,
board games or?
our favorite board game?
Yeah, board games. That's
Hungry
what we're
Hungry
all
Hippos.
here
Does that
for,
count?
celebrating. Yeah.
So
I guess
it's
I'm
The
a movie
what?
guy.
so with
I like.
the pandemic. Oh, I don't want to jump over anybody. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Go
good. Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Tracy.
Okay. So I was going to say, so with the pandemic, we've been homebound for quite some time, and so yes, board games, especially when you have 4 teenagers in the house, games tend to be, the thing. However, not necessarily a board game, but it's a card game, and it is Taco Cat Goat Pizza, uh cheese pizza, something like that. Taco Cat Goat Cheese
What?
Pizza. There you go. That's what it is. Yeah. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it is a
I don't
amazing
think
game.
anybody on the
It's like,
planet is familiar with that, Tracy.
No.
no.
I've
You'll
heard
be
of it, I think.
surprised. It is a
Yeah.
great game.
Taco
It's
Cat
almost
Goat
like
Cheese Pizza.
Slapjack for those that don't know. It's like Slapjack, and the more people, the
Crazy.
better. And I mean, that's again, I've got 4 kids, so for those that don't have kids, probably don't know. But and then also there's the exploding kittens. Those are fun. Cards Against Humanity. So
That's what I was gonna say.
and then a lot of
That one.
the stuff is online. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Jackbox. Those are so much fun. Where anybody
Oh,
who
yeah.
has a phone, as long as you got a phone, you can play. Those are a lot of fun. So yeah, we've had our fair share of experiencing, how we can stay busy during the quarantine time and not, rip each other apart.
That's awesome.
I
Patrick, you
love
said you
board
liked
games.
board games. Yeah, you said you Cards Against Humanity.
Yes.
Okay.
And apples to apples.
Yeah, that's the good version. The apples to apples is the junior version. Yes.
I
Yeah.
like that.
But
Yeah.
for any of you those, I promise you guys that go check out Taco Goat Cheese Pizza. I promise you will have so much fun.
Awesome.
I
I'm
like
hungry now you
Candyland.
said that.
Candyland's a classic. Yes.
I like Trouble
You
with
know what? They should
Pop-O-Matic
come out with
action.
like a Power Ranger. They should come out with a Power Ranger Monopoly
Trouble.
board. I mean,
Yeah,
where's that at? That would be
Spaceopoly.
amazing.
Hell
Right?
yeah,
Spaceopoly.
Spaceopoly.
Love it. You know what, Chris? You and I are going to talk after.
There it is. We did it.
Love it.
We did it.
The pitch.
Ooh, we got a special guest
Just
here.
for the record, there is one already.
I thought so.
Is
Yeah,
there a
I thought that-
Spaceopoly?
It's not space. It's
She means in
20th
space.
anniversary.
Oh, then that
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Oh,
We
yeah,
don't
that
need
don't,
it.
yeah.
Spaceopoly. Spaceopoly.
You know what, fans? They need to hear from you guys. Spaceopoly. That's it.
There it
Make
is.
it happen.
Love it. Love it. Yes. We'll make that known. All right. And this one is another question from Eric F. What is the most touching Ranger tribute you've seen or experienced? I'm thinking they're asking about the like your conventions and if you've interacted with any fans. Selwyn, do you want to start?
Oh, sure. Let me see. You know what? I mean, I'm always grateful whenever there's any tributes online. I love the tributes to music, TJ style highlight reels, any mentions during, Black History Month I always enjoy. But, the most touching are generally the stories in person that we get from the fans. Some fans that you just don't realize how important you were in their lives. For instance, maybe they didn't have anybody else to go home to but the show. Maybe they didn't have parents around, they didn't have friends around, they maybe even were bullied, but somehow they connected with the Power Rangers show. And when they give you their stories, you can really see the sincerity and just I guess just the admiration in their eyes, and that can be very touching. That's probably the most touching.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I can
I
actually
concur.
show mine if you guys want to see it.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
At Power.
PG-13. PG-13.
Yes, it is. Chill. Okay, calm down. It's fine.
No, you.
No, this was done at Power Morphicon. What was it? 2016. 2018. Okay. This right here. This is my girlfriend. This is her arm. Oh, wait, no, move there.
Does that say Selwyn Ward?
I can't see it.
Yes, it does.
Selwyn.
It says Selwyn Ward.
It says Cycles Forever.
This
Aw.
says Let's Rock It.
Let's rock
That's
it.
my
Aw.
handwriting. That's my
Nice.
handwriting.
Oh, that's
She asked me before we were even together. She said, "Hey, can I get like you to write 'Let's Rock It' on like this little index card?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." So I did it, and I was like, "Cool, what's up with that?" And then like the next day, she came back to Morphicon like the next day, and she was like, "So I went and did this," and then she shows me it, and I was just like, "Oh, damn." Okay, there we go. So yeah, she got my handwriting tattooed on her arm.
that's so
That's
neat.
awesome.
So, Chris, you
Yeah.
actually are now you're dating one of your fans, right?
I am.
So she started off as a fan, and then you guys just kind of went from there. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so neat. You
Not
too,
just
Patrick?
that.
Definitely.
It sounds so
No,
horrible the
no,
way you
not
put it,
just
Tracy.
that.
Yeah.
Not just that. She also cosplayed you. You're dating yourself.
Yes, she was
I know,
cosplaying
right?
me.
That was amazing.
Yes, she was cosplaying
That was
as me
amazing. In fact,
when I met her, and then she showed up the next day not as me, but as is her. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
damn, she's really hot when she doesn't look like me. Damn. All right. So, and then she tattooed "Let's Rock It" on her arm. Crazy.
Oh, that's
awesome.
beautiful. Ranger love, Ranger love.
I know. That's what it is.
Tracy, you go.
So anybody else?
Well,
I
for
forgot the
me,
question.
Or Patrick, yeah.
yeah. For me, I've only been doing Comic Cons for a couple of years, and just hearing what fans would say about Psycho Rangers, and I mean, I thought they may have hated us because we're the villains, but hearing the stories of how somehow we gave them courage, and one or two in particular, like overcoming like cancer or some other illness, being in the hospital and watching the show and giving them strength, that was kind of like mind blowing. And so it's kind of like, wow, I didn't know that my little role had like an impact on people like that. So that's pretty much what I've been experiencing since I've been in the fandom the past couple of years.
That's awesome.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I
And
think
Tracy,
for
were you going to say
me,
something? Yeah.
yeah, no, I was just going to say once I remembered what the question was about because we kept going off, um, that it's of course doing when we were shooting the show, of course we had certain charities and things that people would come to set, but during the after experience during the conventions, I think not really understanding the power of the show and having people say, it was just something for them to look forward to. That now we live in a time of age where everything is digital and it's at your fingertips. But back then it was something that at that time they were able to look forward to, waking up in the morning, Saturday morning and having to look, because I remember those times of Saturday morning cartoons or running home after school to catch those certain shows that you would see. Now it's all at at your fingertips, but back then it was a whole different story. And so it's just really neat to hear people talking about giving them something to look forward to when they were younger, and they would hold on to that. And it was just like it was just really neat to know that it gave people hope. It made them happy. It gave them a sense of wanting to, just know what's going to be, what the next episode's going to be. It was just something exciting. And
It
so
was.
going through
That
that,
was me.
hearing people, yeah, yeah, that was me
Right?
too. I remember waking up in the morning, grabbing my blanket and grabbing a bowl of cereal, sitting in front of the television and watching, whatever it was that you could only see on Saturday morning cartoons. So, but yeah, that was really neat.
Awesome. Did you have any fun experiences at conventions, Wally, or with
Oh,
any
always.
fans?
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime anybody comes dressed as the Riddler or Psycho Blue or any of my characters, it's such a thrill because I used to go to conventions all the time as a cosplayer, and I was dressing up as
Oh.
Adam West, as Batman, over here, uh, and then hanging out with Adam while
Awesome.
I'm in costume. And I know the feeling from the standpoint of a fan. So now that I'm kind of on the other side of it, when people show up, I totally get it. So I love that anytime because they put so much work into those costumes, and I know what it takes to
They
make
do.
a costume, especially a Psycho Blue costume, which is pretty ornate. You got a lot of sculpting and a lot of fiberglass work to do, so it's not like putting together a Batman costume Adam West style, but which is a lot of work in
Well, now you
itself.
got
But this
3D
is
printers.
exactly right. Yeah, so
Mhm.
it's amazing the stuff that people come up with at these conventions. I love it. Can't get enough. At Orlando last November, well, almost a year ago, there was a guy that came dressed as the Riddler, and he had driven something like 3 hours, like just to like hang out with me and get a picture. And then I'm like, "You're not a Power Ranger fan?" He goes, "No, I just wanted to get the autograph with the signature of the Riddler." And then he like drove home for 3 hours. I was like, "You came just for
Wow.
this? Well, hang out a little
Wow.
bit." It's unbelievable the things that these people will go through to do this
The
because
dedication.
the
Yeah.
dedication, exactly. And the fans are really what makes this all worth it.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm still
Ooh.
blown away when I see somebody that has a tattoo of, my space helmet.
Yep.
Or even um Selwyn, I don't remember if you saw the guy that had Patty. her whole character when she was in the command center uniform. He had his whole forearm of Patty in the command center uniform, and it was just amazing to be able to see, people that are marking their body for life, but that's the kind of commitment. That's how much it um, how much it meant to them, at that time. So
Yep.
Very cool. Thank you. All right, looks like we got another question from Evie Wonder asking, what do you think is the most positive moment in Power Rangers history? So space was a big one.
Hiring me.
I think when they hired me, naturally.
Damn it. I beat you.
I'm kidding.
Patrick, you were going to say something? Were you going to say something, Patrick?
You're up, Patrick.
No, I'm just laughing at Tracy.
Oh, I thought you said something.
No.
I hope people get my humor. I'm such a dork.
I get it.
Good. I'm glad you do. I'm sorry. What was the question again?
What do you think is the most positive moment in Power Rangers history?
Oh, positive moment in Power Rangers history. I don't know. What do you think, Selwyn? Positive moment.
I'm gonna go with at the end of oh, look at me now, I don't know. At the end of space, where even the normal civilians were saying, we are the Power Rangers. More or less when we revealed
yeah, that
ourselves.
was nice.
We are Spartacus.
Good answer.
Yes.
Good answer.
I think
Yeah.
that was one
Also
of the
being
most
able to-
iconic scenes from that show.
Yeah, because that
Go
had
ahead,
never
Tracy.
been done before. To be able to go in a civilian, and say, where are the Power Rangers? And but I think also with Blake, having Blake there, I think that was a wonderful choice that they made to be able to bring a kid and allowing the other children of that are that age to be able to say, what, yeah, I guess I can be a Power Ranger too, just because I'm not in high school doesn't mean I can't. So I think that brought another element to the show. I think they were really smart in doing that. I've even had people suggest during conventions if they would have somebody of a disability, about doing a show with or using a ranger that has a disability. I think that's wonderful. I think that's amazing. There's totally room for improvement on that.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
they said Michael Jackson was a fan of the show when Blake was on it.
Wow. On that note, I got
seriously, I'm here all week.
All right.
Oh,
Let's
no, you didn't.
next question. Yeah,
he's really
let's
special. He's very
definitely
special.
go to that.
Boy.
All right.
Ladies
Do you
and
have another
gentlemen,
question?
Selwyn will be here all week. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We got another question.
Patrick
Superhero.
left. Patrick
broke
straight went out of the room. He couldn't handle it.
Patrick, come back.
my
We
goodness.
need you. All right.
Patrick.
While he's kind of getting himself together, let's ask
A
the
moment.
next question. You're right. Superhero play replay says, was there any scene in space you found genuinely emotion to film, despite the general silly material that you would get?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Power Rangers,
I heard
silly?
about
I find that
emotion.
hard to believe.
were there any scenes during the season that you found genuinely emotional to film? So was there anything near the end of the season or? No worries.
Yeah, you okay, Patrick? You kind of dipped really
I had to
fast
go to the
after
bathroom.
someone's comment. Oh, okay. You're playing with your action
Thank you
figure
for leaving
too, right?
the phone there.
Oh, he's right here.
Yeah.
I got him here.
All right.
I think what Selwyn said for us to witness, first of all, we were exposing ourselves for the first time, metaphorically, who we were, as a civilian, we're the Power Rangers. But then not only that, it was really beautiful to be able to see everybody else. And I think what made it really special is when we shot that, we were in downtown LA and we were up on this, I don't know, this building or whatever, and seeing all the people down there and stepping forward and saying, you know, I'm a Power Ranger, and actually seeing all of that, it was I think that was a powerful kind of emotional moment to be able to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
wasn't there. I was too busy killing Zordon.
Yes,
I
you
mean, it
were.
was important. It was an important moment, though. All right. We got another question from Tiny Flowers. This is for Tracy and Selwyn. Do you remember how to shift into turbo?
Oh my god.
Are
Yeah,
you guys able
absolutely.
to?
We've done it so many
Yeah.
times. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
You know
actually
what?
my
I just
best friend
really
that
wanted
likes
to.
that. Yeah.
I wanted to go
Go
back
ahead.
to that last question. Also, I remember emotional moment with Ashley and Chris, because of the character development and the dynamic that they had when Chris was, or Andros was leaving, and sharing that kind of emotional bond. Um, you know, as we were getting ready to depart, and think, you know, having Andros stay, I think that was a really emotional moment. We don't capture that many moments like that because of the maturity or whatever, if you will. And knowing that even they took it to the next level where Chris and I had an intimate moment uh, in downtown LA, and we actually had a kissing scene. And so I think that again, taking Power Rangers to that next level, making it more mature, making it more relevant. To me, I felt like that was kind of a turning point for the show, that it wasn't all just fighting big fleas, but
Right.
um, there was actually a maturity, you know, development in that and growing with it. So sorry, but
Right.
back to your
Yeah.
question. I'm sorry.
To
No,
piggyback
it
that,
was a very touching moment with the Andros and Ashley, the kiss. But the one that I feel like overshadowed that was the Andros and Zane kiss. It was so touching. It just left me breathless.
And
That was
groundbreaking.
the after dark moment. Just so you know, that was the after dark.
That was yeah. That's what that was.
Yeah,
They told
yeah.
me they
All
were
right.
That was
filming.
when Ash.
I don't know. Maybe I just fell for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
see, what you don't know
Yeah.
is that the reason why Ashley was leaving Andros is because Andros was staying because of Zane. That was the real
I
reason.
mean, like, I think that was like obvious. The fact that he kept him in his meat locker the entire time, and he's like basically a dead body, and is like, I just can't let go. He means that much to me. I mean, duh. Come on, woman. Come on.
You know what? Put that in your next comic
The
book.
unknown
There it is,
story.
Chris. Next comic book.
The unknown story.
He'll love you
All
for
right.
that.
There's so many fan
Okay.
fictions of that already out there. It doesn't matter.
All right.
I can only imagine.
Right?
So let's go to that next question. Ranger Red 27 asks, and we'll go down the line here with everyone. What superhero was your favorite when you were a kid? So why don't we start with our cycles first? Let's go with Patrick.
Superman.
Superman.
Superman for me. Yeah, he can fly. Superman. All the way.
I think we know where Wally's going to go next. Yes.
Mr. Adam West.
Adam
Batman.
West, Batman.
Yep.
Oh, is that
That is
Batman?
epic. Yeah.
Yes. It's all about Adam.
I picture Wally's house to be. Do you guys remember the movie The Toy with oh, what's
Oh
his
yeah,
name?
Yes.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. Thank
Richard,
you.
Yeah.
I picture his room like that. Like he's got all sorts of fun stuff in the house. All the little.
Oh,
That's for
sweetie, it's
me.
not just a room; it's the entire house. Come over anytime. Bring your family. They'll
I,
get
I
tours
can I
all the
can
time.
definitely
So
imagine that.
you're
That's
completely welcome.
awesome.
I got a puppet room. I got the Cheney room. I got the main thing. I got come over. Bring the entire family. I give great tour. I promise.
That's
wow.
amazing.
That's
You know what?
awesome.
You're gonna make my kids going there is gonna make you eat your words. Let me just tell you. So anyhow,
Well, I
superhero,
come with
Punky
my own
Brewster, all the
security.
way.
Just so
Punky
you know, I have my
Brewster.
own security.
Oh, that's
Oh,
amazing.
Oh my God.
Ah, come for a tour. Ha ha.
Do you just have conversations with your
awesome.
puppets?
Oh yeah,
I
all
could
the
just see
time.
him.
I'm completely alone
that's-
here. I got nobody else. I got only the puppets.
Yeah, who needs therapy, right? There you go.
Weird guy. Weird guy.
He's here.
Ladies
Love
and gentlemen,
it.
Animal. Thanks for coming, Animal.
Yeah,
All right,
come
what
over
about
anytime.
our
Come
other
over
Rangers
anytime.
here?
So Punky
What about
Brewster
our
was
other
mine.
Rangers? Punky Brewster, yes.
Yes.
Soleil, I was friends with Soleil.
Who was that? Patrick?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who said that.
You said Punky Brewster, right?
Yes.
Soleil Moonfry. She was a friend of mine. I grew up with her.
Aw, is she really? Aw.
We'll talk later.
Please
Yes.
tell her I'm a big fan. Big fan.
No, you tell her because she's going
She
to
was-
call you later.
She
There you
was
go.
my go-to for Saturday morning cartoons. That was my go-to.
I was friends with her and Sherry and Margot was the blonde. Yeah. Margot
Love
had a
it.
crush on me. So I said,
New connection.
talk to Margot. She likes you. I'm like, she's like 15.
Ooh, yeah.
Does
No
that qualify
bueno.
as a superhero? Does that qualify
Sorry?
as a superhero, though?
What?
Does that
In my
qualify?
mind,
Does she have
yes,
superpowers?
she was a
Of course.
superhero. Not all
Okay.
superheroes wear capes, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's very true.
All right, Selwyn, who's
Skipper
yours?
Selwyn. Yeah, Selwyn.
So speaking of capes, I had to go with RuPaul.
RuPaul.
No, I'm just
You were
kidding.
growing up?
Popeye.
I was like,
No,
hey,
you're not.
that's an
No,
awesome answer.
you're not. No.
No, honestly, the reason I say it is because I was thinking about it. It's like, did Popeye have a superpower? But I guess the spinach was his. But yeah, definitely Popeye. When I was a kid, I used to call myself Popeye. If people would ask me what my name was, I'd say Popeye.
Did that
Selwyn?
convince you to eat all that spinach?
Selwyn,
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
my
sir.
first word as a baby was Popeye. I've been a Popeye
Really?
fan
Aw.
all my life. Yeah, so
Aw.
I'm with you,
Oh,
dude.
you too.
I'm with you, dude.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
Olive,
So,
I've got to
question
find
is-
me spinach. Oh, I am what I am. Oh, boy.
There you
Oh, I
go.
love
Hey, Olive.
Pretty good.
Oh, I love
This is
Popeye.
awesome.
I'm
Pretty
a
good.
Popeye fan.
That was wonderful. Hey, Selwyn,
That
so
was
have you
awesome.
found your olive oil?
I have not. Still looking. Still looking.
Ooh, fans, there is a chance.
So
Your
that's-
olive
just
oil's
get
out
his,
there.
just get his autograph tattooed on you. You're in. That's how it works.
There you go.
I was gonna say,
The end.
try to come into a con and cosplay me. That might work.
They also, yes, exactly. They got a cosplay as them too.
If they come as an olive oil, for sure.
Oh my God.
That means they watch
Gotta
the
leave it alone.
stream, and then
Exactly. The true sign of a
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
All right, Chris,
exactly.
what's yours?
What about you, Chris? Yeah.
My favorite hero, like comic book hero or whatever.
Superhero,
Growing up.
My favorite hero is the same thing as my favorite villain, Hank McCoy. Always has been. Hank McCoy was the Beast, and my favorite comic book series was The Age of Apocalypse, where he was no longer a hero. He was very much a villain, and he was pretty much like, oh God, he was just a monster. So, yeah, he was a hero in the regular comic book series, and then in the
awesome.
Apocalypse, he was a monster. So, yeah, my favorite comic book hero, period.
I
That's a
like
good
that answer.
question.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. All right, so this is the last question that we have.
Aw.
And this is for BK Han. But don't worry, if you guys still have more questions, we'll be able to go ahead and answer more in the Discord room. So after this, if you head to the bottom of the Discord channel, you'll see the Ranger meet and greet. You'll accept the terms to accept it, and then you'll see all the rooms that are going to be available with our actors in there. So you'll be able to ask them your questions in there after this. But the last question that we have is from BKHan29. What was one of your best experiences while working on Power Rangers in Space? So let's start. We'll kind of keep going down the road here. We'll start with Tracy.
You have to start with me. Is that because I have the biggest mouth
Ladies
around
first.
here?
You're
Thank
first
you.
on
I
my-
appreciate
you're first
that.
on my list.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Okay. So, what was the question again?
One of the best experiences of working on the show.
Best experiences of working on the show. you know what? Best experience working on the show was, I guess, there is a multitude of things that were first for me. First, ever real, like, solid job that I was able to hold down. Before that, it was, I was in college and, just did these odds and end types of jobs. So that taught me a lot of responsibility. A lot of firsts. So first, doing something out of the norm, coming out of my comfort zone. I shared that uh, performing arts, yes, was a major, but I did not think of, doing television. It was more dance. So, kind of going in that element. Um, just there's so many things that I can say, I mean, between meeting people, helping me to be that person that these fans, uh, what they see, and to actually be that, and not, how they say you should never meet your superhero, never, but I really wanted to be what they saw in that superhero. So it helped me to be a better person. So emotionally, that really helped me to be able to take that, and really, how do I say, just really apply that to my life, to my own self, and not just be someone on the outside, but, to apply it in my life. So I guess I would say that as an emotional experience.
That's awesome. Very cool. Thank you. All right, Patrick, I have you next on my list.
Mine was my first day of working because we were on set and I got a chance to meet the actors. Well, Chris wasn't there, Selwyn wasn't there, but Tracy was there, Patty was there, and Justin was there. And I'm like, oh, I know them.
Was
So
that when we shot
the rest,
outside with,
yeah,
was that when we
downtown
shot
LA.
out? Yes.
We're hunting you down, your voice type thing. Silence is golden. So yeah, the first day of working was the best time for me. The rest was like voiceover. So I think I saw Chris in the studio. Like I'm walking over to do voiceover, but I didn't say hi or anything. Um,
Was he nice to
uh,
you?
No need.
I
No
didn't say
need.
hi. I
I'm a
just saw his. I saw the hair in another room talking. I think to somebody else. I don't know, but I'm like, that's that one guy with the hair. But yeah, the first day working on set was the best time for me on the show.
That's awesome. All right, Wally.
I liked when the checks arrived.
There you go.
Great answer.
That was the best day for me.
That's where
about
the
the right
emotion comes in.
Yeah, they pay me to do this. Oh my gosh, this is great.
That's
answer.
awesome.
That was a good
All right,
answer.
and so yeah, Selwyn.
Yeah. Was the question for space specifically or the entire show?
It is specifically for space, but I mean, if you have something
Well,
better
I was gonna
from,
say, yeah, if it's for the whole, yeah, if it's for space, I almost have to piggyback what Patrick said. One of the main things that stood out for me was the very first scene that I shot with Patty, in the first episode. At the end of the scene, well, it was the first take. Let me go back. It was the
okay,
first take that we did, that we kind of completed after the first take, after it says cut. The entire
But not space, in
crew.
Turbo, right?
Yeah, this is Turbo. If you say the entire show, then that would be the one. And
Yeah.
so after that first take, the whole crew kind of clapped for us and kind of applauded, like, welcome home or welcome to the family type of deal. So
that's
that was pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, making
That's
that
awesome.
on the
What about
blooper
space
reels.
though? And
Uh,
Chris.
well, I mean, yeah.
um, for me, I'm going to go ahead and say that, like the most memorable, excuse me, the most memorable thing probably was the second episode that Nemo was there. And the reason why is because the first episode that he was there, when they brought him in, I looked at him and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy? This guy's gonna come in here and he's gonna steal my show. What is this? I'm not. No. Him. The first episode that he was there, the first time he showed up, I was like, "Oh hell no! Oh, no. I'm not having this. No. I hated him. I secretly hated him inside. He knows all this too, by the way. So I mean, he and I have talked about this many times.
I didn't even know this.
But yeah,
Me neither.
the first time he showed up, I just totally hated him. But I thought about it by the end of that episode. I thought about it, and I was like, it's really stupid if I just hate this guy. I don't even know this guy. Maybe I'll just get to know him. So by the second time that he showed up, he was only in like 17 episodes the entire time that he was on the show. So the second time that he showed up, I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this guy a chance. I'm gonna get to know him. The moment I did, I totally fell in love with him. He and I basically share the same brain. We're two dumb
Two peas in a pod.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are. We are the dumbest peas in the pod. We basically are the same person. And the moment I talked to him, like the moment I got to know him, I was like, damn it, now I love you. Damn. So yeah, that was it. The second time
It's all
I
that
don't even know
bleach.
the name of the episode. So yeah, but yeah, he was great. I loved him. And it was a really cool thing because that actually was like a really, like, the funny thing to me was that, like, the bromance that was going on there between the two characters after the second episode, that was actually real. That was not like, we weren't even acting at that point. We were like, oh man, I love you. I've known you forever. I can't. You complete me. I love you. So that's what happened.
Are you good? You good, dude?
Done.
He
Can
had
I
to have his moment. Yeah.
Can I just play devil's advocate really quick and kind of stir the pot?
Ooh.
Oh.
So,
Please do.
because with your situation, Chris, with Nemo, how about Selwyn knowing that Christopher was coming in and taking on that leadership kind of Red Ranger role? How did you feel about that when Chris came in?
Let me think. I think I looked at it more like Chris got hired to do a job. I didn't specifically dislike him personally. But when he came in, and I don't know if you guys know, but they wanted him to kind of be the outsider between the Space Rangers and the Alien Ranger. Anyway, they almost kept them separate on purpose. So our
they did. Yeah. They did do that.
And
Jonathan Zakor specifically told me that. So yeah, Selwyn is 100% right. He specifically
And
told me
that was never articulated to us.
Yeah.
That was never articulated to us. So I'm like, what's up with this guy? Why is he being such an never mind. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. I had no idea. I thought you had a big stick up your butt because I wouldn't, like, why isn't he chilling with us? Why isn't he talking to us? I had no idea that was actually what was told to you to stay away from us. I was very discouraged and turned off by that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very interesting.
So then at what point did you feel so when he started to warm up? You started to warm up to him?
Well, so as I said, I did have a conversation
2 years ago
with the producers at that time, and they kind of explained to me that more or less I would still be the leader of the Space Rangers. He's going to be doing this thing, and that's kind of why they wanted to keep us a little bit separate and let us all kind of come together in our own. But I don't know. I think it's just after working 12-hour days with somebody and being in the middle of a desert, in the middle of Death Valley, it does.
Yeah.
It happens naturally. And I think that's why they did it that way. I think it was pretty, it kind of worked out all the way around for all of us.
Yeah.
What happens naturally?
Yeah. Right.
The relationship.
I gotta say something. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I gotta commend your character there, especially during the cycle scenes where, we were all focused on the Blue Ranger, right? And you get your butt kicked, and you're coming out of like the med room and everything, and you still got bandages on you, and you're like, all right, let's go watch the tapes. Like, let's see what happened. I'm like, that's a good Ranger. That's a good leader. Like, that was my favorite scene from you. Like, it was like one of those, like, I may be injured, I may be down, but let's keep going. Let's brush our shoulders off and just keep moving forward. And that was my favorite.
Let's figure these guys out. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for giving us time to, go out here and be all virtual and through all these times, and still giving us some more time on Discord. So again, just to remind everyone, let's go ahead over to the Discord channel. Right there at the bottom, you will go ahead and see the Power Rangers and meet and greet. Just accept the terms.
There's a board.
And we got our pets. Yes. And
It's dinner
how
time.
cute.
You
Dinner
will see
time
the
for these
room
guys.
for our Rangers
Classy.
and actors.
How cool.
I love
Awesome.
it. Wally, do you have a pet
Yes.
pig? I bet you got one of those too, I'm sure.
I am the
I
only
want a
pig in this
tour
house,
of
my
Wally's
dear.
house. After the pandemic,
the
I
only-
want a tour of your house.
You know what? Don't even
Well, I'll
wait for
sign
the
up.
pandemic to end because it's never going to end. So come over anytime. I'm a bit of a clean freak, so I'm all good. So it's all
I
good.
love
Invite the
it.
whole cast then. Invite us
I
all.
Selwyn,
love it.
did you see my Popeye Halloween mask up here?
Oh
Selwyn?
wow, I see it.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That-
wow.
Oh,
That
funny.
record was the record I used to listen to all the time as a kid. It's called
wow.
Popeye, Where There's a Will, There's a Way, and then there were 3 or 4 different Popeye records that I had. So those
That's
are
Oh
records,
awesome.
my
kids.
gosh,
Do you know
that's
what
so
those are? They're flat
amazing.
pieces of vinyl that you put a needle on, and sound would come out.
Get back to her
Right?
again. It's all
Oh,
good.
let's see your
All
kitty.
right.
Is that your kitty? Chris, is that your kitty?
Oh,
That's one of
it's
them.
like Disneyland. Wally, your house is like Disneyland.
It's
That's
Planet
amazing.
Hollywood.
All right,
Come over
good.
anytime. Seriously.
Wallywood,
What city?
there you
What
go.
city are you in?
Yeah.
Open for tours.
Awesome. Very
Wally
cool.
What
World.
city
Well,
are you in?
all right, guys. Well, thank you again so much, Tracy, Chris, Selwyn, Wally, and Patrick. You guys have been amazing. So we got so much more stuff planned for Morphin Meet tomorrow and for the rest of the evening as well. So I got to hop on to the next one
Oh, yeah,
as we're
that's
going to go ahead and hang out with Jonathan Ying and try to beat him in Mastermind mode. So we're going to go ahead and see the rest of the actors here on Discord once again. And we look forward to seeing you for the rest of the evening. Take care, guys. Thank
Bye. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Yeah.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe, everybody.
Bye.
I'm out.